Hi folks, John Cordisco here. Round 7 of the U.S. Chess Championships 2016. Interesting game. As white, my buddy from the U.S., Carl Nakamura. Carl is going to start putting together some wins if he's going to get his championship back. He is the defending champion against Akobian, who's not had a very good tournament. I believe Far's got 3 losses and maybe 4 losses and maybe 2 draws. I'm not sure, something like that. So let's get to it. It's going to be at Petrov, believe it or not. So we'll go through the opening here. These guys know this backwards and forwards. Oh, by the way, at the end, our short interviews with Carl Nakamura and Akobian. You might want to miss that. Bishop e7. We're just going to go through this quickly. This is all book. All book. Knight c3. Bishop f5. a3. Knight c3. Pawn takes. On one side note, they have a confessional booth there. And I guess Sakara went in the confessional booth, which he never does. Sam Shanklin is also playing in the U.S. Championship. Is on the Olympic team with Carl. And I guess this line in the Petrov for white was gone over by Carl and Sam Shanklin, and he never got a chance to play it. So he got the line from Sam, his Olympiad compadre. Knight c6. Rook e1. Believe it or not, this is still all book. Rook a2. Interesting move. Eventually this rook might want to come over to here. Knight a5. Pawn takes. Queen takes. Rook b2. Interesting. So let's take a breath here. We've gone quite a ways. We'll go one more move. c6. Now, according to the computer, that's the last book move. Okay. Queen a4 maybe. Knight e5. Of course, Carl goes knight e5. That's pretty much the logical move. And he lets him take bishop takes a3. Hits the queen. Queen d6. And now he doubles up here. Computer's got a small advantage for white, but I like white a lot right here. A lot. Those double rooks, that knight right there on e5, very nice. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Bishop e6. I think at this point, Akobian is just trying to play. They say that a lot. Well, we're just trying to play chess. Well, they're all playing chess. What we mean by that is just trying to hold it together, looking for maybe a small spot for an advantage, but at least minimally just being black against the Carl. Just play decent and hold your own. Bishop e4. Computer didn't like that move very much. Computer liked queen to b1 with basically an even game. Bishop e4. Rook a d8. Queen b1. And g6. How are you really going to defend against that? I mean, you can't go here. So he decided to go g6. Now this is a move when Carl was interviewed, maybe go h4, and he liked f4 better, and that also is the computer's choice as well. But bishop d3 a close second. f4, really going all out here in it. Computer likes c5, and I do as well. Or excuse me, f5, and I do as well. Decided just to go c5. And I think Akobian's starting to lose the position a little bit. Carl goes f5. Now, you take your chances. We're on move 24. It's a very complicated position here. Of course, computers are very easy at figuring out everything. Right now, the move is bishop b3 with basically an even game. And Carl took a risk here and decided just to go f5 and let the chips fall where they may. And unfortunately for Akobian, played c takes, f takes, rook takes. Give you an idea, if he had played bishop b3 instead after pawn takes, it's basically an even game. But after c takes, f takes, rook takes c6, he's in trouble. Now pause the video now. Now that doesn't show us the best move. The computer likes bishop takes g6 as the best move. I don't agree. I think the move Carl made is the best. But stop the video now and see if you can find it. The move that Carl played was knight takes f7. Taking the pawn is absolutely no good. Because after pawn takes, bishop f3, rook, actually is advantage to black. But after knight takes, king takes, bishop d5, queen takes the bishop, rook takes e6, d takes, hits the queen, queen checks, king goes in the corner, and this is Varvar again, miscues. Yeah, he's got a small advantage for white. Yeah, his king's out in the open. He just panicked. Didn't know what to do, so he went b6. And, of course, that's the end. Rook to d5, I think, was proper. Then after rook takes, queen takes. Give you a little keeping score. Black has a knight and 3 pawns for a rook. But after b6, queen a2 check, king g7, here it comes. Rook checks, king h6, queen f7. He's doomed, absolutely doomed. Goes knight c4. Computer's got mate in 12. Queen takes, king. I'll just go through the last few moves. I'm surprised Vara hasn't resigned by now. Queen d3, pawn checks, king f4, queen h6 check. And that's where Akobian resigns. To give you an idea what will happen after king to g3, queen checks. Look at this, king has to go to f2. Holy crap, are you kidding? Queen has to block. And that's the end. I felt bad for Var. He's having a really, really bad tournament. But when you're on the edge like that and you make a small mistake and you're playing somebody like a Carl, it'll come back to kill you. Anyway, folks, that's one of the games from round 7 of the U.S. Championships. Hope you enjoyed it. Look for other games as well coming up. Oh, there was amazing, amazing games in the ladies' U.S. Championship this round. Hopefully I'll have time tonight to show those. And as I always say, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
With 2 rooks and a queen hunting it down, he really is ready to resign. He's just through inertia making moves, looking at his clock, how to defend the g6 pawn. I don't know why he's shaking his head now. I mean, this is about the time you sit back and go, yeah, I'm busted. I know I was busted. Let me clear my thoughts here and look at the next game because it's over.
Exactly. Well, what did you say? Mate in 9? I don't doubt it for a single minute.
Or time forfeit in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, well,
That's another way to end the game.
Great preparation once again by another 2800, Hikaru Nakamura, and the luckless Varusian Akobian. He just seems to be walking into every kind of upper shot that the players have prepared.
With 3 seconds left, he played queen d3, but that king is gone.
After h4 check, yep.
h4 check will be very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
And you think Nakamura may or may not see it? Well, yeah, right.
Mr. Technique.
Please, no way. U.S. champion, defending U.S. champion Hikaru Nakamura has got this one safely in the bag. Let's
watch this on.
Oh yeah, you guys are
the-
vultures. Look at
That's what you have to do.
Handshake or time
carry it.
forfeit? That's what we're
Carry
wondering
it.
here. What it's going to be.
Well, he
I
only
think
has
it-
seconds, Yaz. If it had been like he had
Oh,
5
okay.
minutes, but he's down to looks like 4 seconds, and he's played the move king to f4.
Yeah, not very often we get to see Hikaru
You guys are bloodthirsty.
with his technique here.
Trust me, all the
Real
fans want to
bloodthirsty.
see this finish as well.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
You know, it's funny. Top players have this tendency when the game is done, it's as though we lost. We lose interest. Yeah, it's over. We don't need to look at this anymore. But the fans want to see mate. In fact, they don't want to see him resign. Want to see mate on the board. Just get mated. Show us what a mate looks like.
Speaking of which,
There we go.
we were about to get a mate after King G4, Queen G5, but instead just
Version Akobian after a loss against Hikaru Nakamura. Var, you had this position, and he was blitzing out all the moves in the opening. Turns out that it was pure preparation on his part. When did you suspect that you might have fallen into a trap?
Well, I actually analyzed this position before this tournament, and I knew all the way until I knew you were supposed to play c6 instead of a6. In that Shankland-Robson game, he played a6, and he was in trouble. But I actually reached this position, and computer showed that maybe very slightly better for white. But I figure with a lot of time on the clock, I'll have a lot of time and about 20 moves, so I should be able to find some, some good defense. I actually like what I did after c5, but I'm sure I misplayed it later on, because
Well, it turns out they both went into confessional booth for the first time. Sam went in and said that he had shown this to Hikaru with this exact same line at the Olympiad, and that this was all preparation all the way down. So they assumed that it was better for white, and maybe you did walk into some home brew.
Yeah, I knew that he was prepared, but I was also prepared, so it wasn't like I didn't know anything about this line. And I think maybe white has some initiative still, but I think after I take the pawn with a very precise play, black should be able to equalize that game. And I'm not sure after when he spent about 45 minutes on f5. I was optimistic, but I just wasn't so sure. Looked like the tactics weren't working for me. Like after f5, I was planning to play bishop c4 originally, but I just saw that he can take on g6, and after I take back hgs, bishop g6, and unfortunately, if I just take back fgs, knight c4, and my e8 rook is hanging. So, but maybe I should play this position, and after bishop g6, just go rook e5 and bishop f7, and I think white is better there, but because I think I underestimated how strong was this position for him. I thought maybe I can consolidate, and I have a lot of pawns, but probably b6 was the final mistake.
B6 definitely.
I actually missed. I saw queen a2, I saw knight c4, and queen takes a7, rook d7 was my thought, and I just missed rook e7 check there.
Let's go down this line. Which you're preferring to? This position after bishop d5?
Yeah, bishop d5 takes, I took on c3, and he played, queen d4 check. Yeah, I think b6 is just losing, but I missed queen a2 check after b6, queen a2, knight c4, queen takes a7, and I thought I have rook d7 here, but I just missed that he has rook e7, and if he doesn't have that, then I'll think I'm okay because my knight is coming in. Just now it looks like I take queen takes e7, king g8, and now unfortunately has a very strong move, rook f1, and I'm just not in time to
To deal with those major pieces.
Yeah. But yeah, I think after b6 is just already lost. Maybe I have some move there before b6, because I have a lot of pawns still. Maybe I can get into some.
Well, the Indians really liked white around this time. It was very hard to find moves.
Then it's just a bad position. Yeah. Hikaru mentioned maybe bishop b3 I could play after f5. I'm not sure.
That was the only move that the Indians gave. In fact, after f5, bishop b3, bishop b7 line. Those just slightly better for white again.
Yeah, I looked at bishop c4, bishop d5. Bishop d5 was also losing after takes knight g4. So yeah, looks like bishop b3 was my only move, and just because I feel like what I did was correct. Rook a d8, c5, just to try to open up his center. But I just had to play bishop b3, and that line after bishop b7, I feel like I should be able to hold because everything will simplify. Maybe I just take on d4. And
A very sharp position indeed, and we were looking at this position, really tough one. It's tough when you're in a tournament like this and you have to play guys like Hikaru Nakamura with the black pieces. I'm sure the audience will have no idea what that feeling is like.
yeah.
What goes through your mind, especially now that you're not having your best tournament?
Yeah, well, it's tough to play black. I had black against all the three very high-rated guys and just didn't manage to score against them. But you know, I was happy about the game today because I felt like I could do something after c5 and just bishop b3 didn't cross. It's very hard to play those guys. Absolutely. I mean, I don't even have that much experience playing them, but it's very hard, and preparing also it takes a lot of time. So I spent a lot of time preparing. It's just I just didn't think of bishop b3 because I feel like after bishop b3 I have very good chances to hold that position. I mean, maybe some tactics there, but I just didn't think about it. It's very tough.
We know it's tough. We know it's tough. There's a lot of heavy lifting. Thanks for joining us, and get the man who loves the confessional booth. Okay, I'm overstating the case, obviously. We heard from Sam Shanklin and then from you that this line was prepared for the Olympiad. What were you feeling as the game started going down this path?
I was quite happy. I mean, Var, as we know, is a lifelong French player, so to see him play the Petrov or the Russian variation, I was quite happy to get this because I feel that the whole line in general is quite dangerous for Black. So I was just very happy. It's exactly what I wanted in a kind of a must-win situation for me.
So why'd you feel the need to go into the confessional booth today? You gave homage to Sam Shanklin. We saw Fabiano say he pledges undying love to Lawrence Trent, and now another bit of love fest.
Yeah, I mean, it was totally random because, as I recall, it was for round 3 of the Olympiad, the first round that I played, and I had a bunch of delays, and I think it was Germany or London, I can't remember where, but getting there. So I arrived late in the evening after the second round, and then I had to play the next day with White against Anish. So kind of it was something that I needed something in case Anish played it, and it's what we came up with, and I was quite happy at the time. So I think it's great. At least in past Olympiads, the players were willing to share and help each other. So obviously today's game was thanks to Sam. But I mean that's why I won today.
Good to have great teammates. When you got this position, you spent a long time on the move f5. What concerns you?
Well, I think I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like I thought Queen C. I wasn't sure if Queen C2 or Queen B1 was the right move. I haven't looked at the line in a while, so I really wasn't sure what was going on. And then basically when I played this f5 move, I used all my time because basically I wasn't sure what I was going to do after bishop b3. I mean, if I had known Var was going to play c takes d4, I would have played the move in 5 minutes. Because really every move in the position I think was losing. Bishop c4 was losing to fg6, hg6, bishop g6, rook takes e5, bishop h7 check. Not bishop takes f7. Just bishop h7 wins on the spot. So I was just very surprised to use all that time, and then Var, I think in about 5 or 10 minutes, very quickly played c takes d4. After which it's probably losing. He had one trick in this position. After, if we keep following the game, this position after bishop d5, queen d5, rook e6, and here queen takes e6 is a very good practical try. I think it's probably still losing, but it's very reasonable because king takes e6, queen e4, and king f7, and probably c takes d4 here is winning, probably, but it's not trivial at any rate, and so that was the last chance Var had. After that, I mean, he was just lost. But in general, I think the whole line is quite dangerous for Black, and I think Var really underestimated the counterplay.
Pretty blitzy win, definitely overcoming your opponent, chasing a king to the g4 or the f4 square. Anyway, if we may beg your opinion on the game that Fabiano is playing right now. What are your thoughts about this current position that we have on the board?
Well, I think Jeffrey was playing quite well, quite solidly, and then at some point he just let the game get out of control. I mean, realistically speaking, you know, I wouldn't say that Jeffrey has a chance to win the tournament. So I'm very surprised that he just let the position get out of control, because that's obviously much to Fabiano's advantage, and I assume that somehow Fabiano will win this now. I mean, it's a pawn, but the knight's on the rim, black structure on the queen side is extremely solid. So I just figure somehow it should be winning.
You're giving chase to Fabiano and Wesley, so Wesley won in brisk style today, just like boom, knocking out Shabalov. Were you surprised by that result?
I'm not shocked by the result. I'm shocked at how quickly it happened. I didn't really understand what was going on, kind of, because, I mean, obviously it was a very double-edged position, but it seemed like, I don't know if it was a one-move blunder or what exactly happened. So it's surprising, but it's not the result. I expected Wesley to win that game. I mean, for the most part, I expect all three of us to win every game, more or less. So, so it's not surprising. But of course, I mean, it makes it more difficult for me, at least.
Absolutely does. One final thought. Norway chess is going on right now. All these top 10 players playing here. What do you feel about this golden age of chess, with broadcasts, players watching, fans watching in the morning, and then being able to watch in the afternoon, or in any part of the world, to be able to follow what's going on in chess right now?
Yeah, I think it's great that there are so many events that are going on at the same time, especially because in the past it felt like there were, you know, there always have been invitational events, but they're always at different times, and they're really scattered. So to see top level events happening is great. I mean, personally, I'm very disappointed, because I very much enjoyed playing in Norway last year. I mean, it was a great event, and I had a lot of fun there in Stavanger. But that being said, of course, this tournament is quite important too. So just in general, I think it's great to have these events. Today was the first day that I paid attention to Norway. I hadn't been watching yesterday or the day before, but I was watching today and having some fun, making some fun bets with my second on Magnus's game.
There's so many draws in Norway and so many victories here. The fans must prefer to see some blood spilled anyway.
Well, it's all relative. I mean, it depends. What do you want to see? Do fans want to see me play something crazy, take big risks like I did against Fabiano, and get an egg on my face, or would they prefer that players are solid? I mean, it cuts both ways. You can't.
I think the first one sounded very attractive for the fans.
I mean, you can say it's attractive,
not for the players,
but
for the fans.
But honestly, as a player, I mean, why should I take such risks? Why should I do it? I mean, there isn't the incentive personally to do that. So, unless a tournament situation demands it, in general, players are not going to take such risks. So, I mean, there are going to be a lot of draws if players are playing precise, correct chess.
Absolutely. I think the fans like it when it's crazy. But I know as a player, it's very important for you to play your best chess. And we hope you continue to play your best chess here.